What's going on, H-Town and Houston Rockets fans all over the world? My name is David Marotta, and welcome to Rockets Daily, brought to you by FanArch. Our goal here is simple. We want to bring you the best Houston Rockets coverage that we possibly can each day. We're going to talk all things Houston Rockets. We're going to talk about all of these rumors. Well, maybe not all of them. We're going to try to catch up with the best ones. Talk about the actual transitions and transactions that happen as they happen. We're going to talk about this NBA draft. We're going to look at some of the prospects. And my dream here is to be on this channel with a lot more subscribers to grow with you guys in the 2026 NBA Finals. And we're talking about the Houston Rockets representing the Western Conference instead of the Oklahoma City Thunder. So first thing, go ahead and like this video if you like the content. You could like this video if you don't like the content, but also anything that you'd like to see us talk about or that you feel could be improved on, go ahead, leave a comment, be nice, let us know any trade transactions, anything on your mind, Houston Rockets, that you want to discuss. I'll read each and every comment, and we're going to see, going forward, we want to make this a show for you guys. Next, make sure to subscribe. That way you're notified anytime there is a video dropped. So, first thing that I want to go ahead and get into today, a list dropped by The Ringer. Shout out to The Ringer. They dropped their list of top 100 players in the NBA, and there's 6 Houston Rockets on that list. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about that list. You can look at the list, but I'm gonna go ahead and talk about which Rockets were listed in this top 6. So first of all, let me ask, if you haven't looked at this list, and I'm pretty sure everybody hasn't looked at the list, who do you think the number one Houston Rocket is on this list? Well, you probably guessed it right. It's Alfred Sengun, who rated as number 36 according to The Ringer. Now, if you look at the player efficiency ratings, he rated 25th in the NBA in PER, so it shows that he's a little bit underrated. And when you look at this, there's a lot of, some guys are analytics guys, some guys are eye test guys. I'm both, because a lot of people will say that they go by the eye test, they don't like analytics. I get it, old school, you don't want to be a prisoner to analytics. I get that. Numbers don't always tell everything, but at the same time, you can't tell me that you watched all 82 games for every team in the NBA, every minute of every game. And even if you did, if you only watched every game one time, you missed a lot of things. So, no one's watching every single game, every single player 5 to 20 times. You also look at these numbers, they let us balance things out. And as we dive in deeper to this list, it's actually going to be an interesting topic as far as where do we think that the analytics are wrong with some guys, where do we think that they're right, and where do they tell a compelling story? Because as we get into this as we get into this list, there were definitely some surprises for me on this list. But Alfred Sengun comes in as the number one Rocket. And real quick, I'm going to focus obviously mostly on the Rockets, but let's just go with the top 10 players for The Ringer. Sengun, number 36. Obviously, no Houston Rockets in the top 10. You had Nikola Jokic, number 1. You got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, number 2. You got Giannis Antetokounmpo, number 3. Luka, number 4. Steph Curry, number 5. Anthony Edwards, number 6. Tyrese Halliburton, number 7. Sensational postseason. 3 big game winners, but interesting choice. Donovan Mitchell, number 8. Jalen Brunson, number 9. Jason Tatum, number 10. And just, I know I said do the top 10, but I think it's worth mentioning that Wemby is number 11 and LeBron James is number 12. So top Houston Rocket on the list right now is Sengun at number 36. And if you're looking at the PER at 25th for the season, it says that Sengun's a little bit underrated in this spot. And next you've got Amen Thompson, not too far behind Sengun, number 41. He was 63rd in player efficiency rating this year, named to the All-NBA defensive team. Well-deserved, number 41 in the ratings there. And next for the Houston Rockets, who do you think is the third player on this list for the Houston Rockets? Number 3 player on this list is going to be number 64, is going to be Fred VanVleet. Fred VanVleet checking in at number 64. And as we're going through this also, as I mentioned, Şengün number 36, Thompson number 41. The players that were in between them, 37, Franz Wagner, 38, Derek White for the Celtics, 39, Tyrese Maxey, number 4, OG Anunoby, and there have been some OG Anunoby rumors about whether or not he could possibly be a Houston Rocket in the future. But Fred VanVleet, now this is a guy where, veteran leadership definitely weighs higher than, analytics and PER. Just 229th in PER. Wasn't the most efficient shooter this year, but definitely Fred VanVleet's definitely a dog. He showed up in the playoffs. His leadership definitely goes above his PER, and the Ringer, I think, acknowledges that, having him at number 64. Those are your top 3 Houston Rockets, and as we go deeper than that, this is where this list really starts to get interesting, as we've got Tari Eason at number 88. He was 65th in player efficiency rating this year. Tari Eason. And then we've got number 93, Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks is a guy that the analytics definitely don't tell the story for him with veteran leadership. Actually led the team in three-point shooting out of players that, shot a high volume of threes, but only 300th in the NBA in player efficiency rating. But the Ringer has him number 93 as your 5th rated Houston Rocket. And this is where things get really, really interesting, is the 6th rated Houston Rocket, number 98. Have I forgot somebody? No, I didn't. Jalen Green, number 98 according to the Ringer. He did crack that list. Average PER in the NBA is about 15. He rated at 15.15, 159th. So, it's interesting as we talk about these trade rumors and his Jalen Green, a franchise player. He did crack that top 100, but Şengün, Thompson, and Eason, obviously VanVleet and Brooks are veterans, but when it comes to this young core of the Rockets, at least according to the Ringer, they've got him number 6 on the Rockets and number 4 out of this young core. So tell me, where do you agree? Who's underrated? Anybody overrated? I don't think anybody on this list is overrated, but Jalen Green, is it disrespectful, or do you kind of agree with it there? And one thing here that we'll also talk about, the future for Tari Eason, a little bit of a surprise, but when you look at, him being a two-way player, it's nice to see that he was acknowledged, averaging over 6 rebounds a game, over 12 points a game, and just playing just about half the game. So he is somebody that it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the offseason. Is he going to be traded away? How does the market value him? Is he somebody that you want to ship out possibly for a KD or Giannis, or hold on to? Right now, you don't have to extend him. He's got a team. He's going to be a restricted free agent after 2026. You can match any offer, but it's an interesting situation. I know that Eason said he's willing to bet on himself. Do you want to lock him in early, maybe get a discount, or does he want to hold out and bet on himself? Because this is a guy, all you can do is perform while you're on the floor. You can't do anything without playing time, and in the playing time that he's had, he's definitely improving. He had some nice moments in the playoffs. Struggled a bit in game 1, played well in game 2, shot a little bit better from 3-point range in that series. Small sample size, but in that series against the Golden State Warriors than he did during the regular season. So Tari Eason, definitely somebody that the future looks bright for. And I want to talk about a trade here, a trade scenario that I saw from shout out to Fadeaway World here with this report. And there's been a lot of rumors about how can the Houston Rockets get Durant, how can they get Giannis, and according to this article here, they actually have a scenario where they think that the Rockets could possibly pull off both. First of all, let's talk about the trade option for Giannis, and they're proposing that the Rockets trade away number 10 and number 59 this year, which I don't think anybody would disagree with that. And trading away both Şengün and Green. I really don't want to get rid of Şengün here, but when you look at the entire body of work of this trade, let's just talk about it here. First of all, let me ask you, who do you think is going to be the best player on this Houston Rockets team? Do you think it's Giannis? Do you think it's Durant? Do you think it's Durant and Giannis? Do you think it's Giannis and Durant? 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 Do you think Would you give up Şengün Green, number 10 and number 59, for Giannis? Think about that for a moment. Would you do that? Go ahead, comment yes or no. Now let's think about this other trade proposal that they have in. Kevin Durant, Jabari Smith, Cam Whitmore, Reed Shepherd, first round pick in 2031 and a second round pick in 2031. Now, what's really interesting about both of these trades, and that both of these trades involve different players. This proposed hypothetical trade, the first option involves Şengün and Green for Giannis. The next move for Durant doesn't involve them. It doesn't involve the same picks. So with this rumor, they have you going into next season with Van Fleet, Dillon Brooks, Amen Thompson, Kevin Durant, and Giannis. Very, very interesting. Now, obviously, that hurts the future shelf life, but you keep, under both of these scenarios, you keep Tari Eason, you keep Amen Thompson, you've got the veteran leadership of Van Fleet and Dillon Brooks, and then you've also got the number 3 and number 14 players in the NBA, according to the Ringer, and Giannis and Kevin Durant. So if we're looking long term, first of all, does this team win the Western Conference? Van Fleet, Brooks, Thompson, Durant, and Giannis. Does this win the Western Conference? Who says no? If you can pull off both of these trades, like I said, I'm not really a fan of trading Şengün. I know I just said in the last episode I believe that he's personally an untouchable, but I think if you could bring Durant and Giannis together, keep Thompson and Tari Eason, man, I think that you gotta probably pull the trigger there. Now the thing is, how do you know that if you get one trade that the other is going to go through? You got the New York Knicks, you've got so many other pieces being involved, so it's hard to say even if that is going to be enough to get it done. Now, last thing I want to talk about, and this may seem a little bit random, but I want to talk about here is Sam Cassell. And Sam Cassell, obviously, 2 championships as a player with the Houston Rockets. Long history as an assistant coach in the NBA. And we looked at all of these different openings in the NBA right now. A lot of them have already been filled. The New York Knicks job is still open out there. I don't see anyone mentioning Sam Cassell for that job. And just I'm just a little interested in, and this is where I really want to, you guys are feel free to comment on anything, but this is where I really want to know, with the Sam Cassell disrespect of being a part of winning organizations on all levels, player and as an assistant coach. He seems like a straight shooter. Seems obviously knows the game, hard-nosed guy, just somebody that continuously gets overlooked again and again when it comes to these head coaching vacancies. So I just want to know in the comments, what do you think it is with Sam Cassell, and why has he not gotten his shot as a head coach, and when will that come? I think it's probably going to have to, we'll see. When is that moment going to happen for Sam Cassell? So anyway, that's it for Rockets Daily. Like, subscribe, let us know what you think about the content. Sam Cassell, why do you think he hasn't been picked up as a head coach yet? Kevin Durant and Giannis, how do you feel about those proposed trades? Show some love for Tari Eason, and on that top 100 list, who's overrated, underrated. Thanks so much for watching Rockets Daily, brought to you by Fan Art. Let's have a great day.